Glum, the 6th seed out of Ottawa, Ontario, and Dog, the 7th seed from Boston, Massachusetts, battled it out point for point in this first-round Masters matchup, a rematch of the Northeast Regional Finals 3 weeks ago. Glum had beaten Dog twice at that tournament, but Dog came out firing, getting 2 consecutive breaks to take a 7-5 first-half lead. The teams continued to trade and swap breaks in a contentious second half. Dog dug deep, relying on their championship experience, but as the half wore on, Glum's legs and relative youth shone through. Glum would break Dog's O on the last point for the 15-13 victory. On the next field over, Philadelphia's 5th-seeded Old Sag looked for revenge against Denver's 8th-seeded Double Black. Double Black had edged out Old Sag in pool play last year 15-14.
No, I got that one pretty good.
Old Sag earned breaks early, but Double Black's speedy Jeff Bryant and Renzo Verback led the Colorado squad to an 8-7 halftime lead. Old Sag's defense was noticeably more physical in the second half. Double Black continued to push on defense, but Old Sag's offense would continue to grind it out underneath. Steve Finn capped off a solid game with this throw to Jim Viner for the break and the 16-14 victory. Coming out of a huge 17-16 upset over number 2 seed Mileage in the first round, 11th seeded Real Huck was looking to maintain their momentum against number 9 seed Throwback. This game was all Real Huck as the Chicago area team, led by number 8 Nate Volkman, charged to a 4-1 lead right out of the gates against the Seattle-based Throwback. Real Huck continued to display their depth, their committed man defense, and their possession-based offense on the way to an 8-4 half. Throwback failed to gain any momentum in the second half. Rick Fowler of Real Huck snagged a heads-up layout catch block, and Ricky Bowes found a bidding Mike Fritz for the game winner. 2 rounds in, and Real Huck, with the 2nd seed from the Central region, is looking like Cinderella in the 2009 Masters division. Field 30 pitted 2 teams that didn't attend Nationals in 2008. Atlanta's Ball and Chain, the 2nd qualifier out of the South, and North Carolina's Boneyard, the 2nd seed out of the Mid-Atlantic, were both looking for their first victory here in Sarasota this year. Ball and Chain opened the game with a stifling zone defense that they rode to an early 3-1 lead. But after a timeout, Boneyard was able to dissect Atlanta's zone, and with some aggressive man D, went on a run to take half 8-6. Boneyard continued the run in the second half behind on-field leader and former Ring of Fire standout Augie Kravinas. Kravinas' huge pulls and Boneyard's excellent coverage D led to short field turnovers from Ball and Chain and easy breaks for the North Carolina team. Boneyard didn't let up on the defensive pressure and never looked back on their way to victory. The last round of Thursday Masters play featured the 1-2 matchups in each pool. Pool A saw number 1 seed overall and defending champions, Surly of Minneapolis, facing off against the 4th seed overall, Troubled Past in purple, representing San Francisco's Bay Area. Both teams entered the game undefeated, and winning here would mean a clear path to winning the pool and likely avoiding an early elimination game against the strong-looking Beyondors. This was also a rematch of the 2008 semis match, which Surly won 15-7. Both teams came out hot, trading points to 7-7 with 1 break apiece. Troubled Past straight-up marks slowed the Surly offense, which was looking to take big shots. Troubled Past Mark McGee had a standout first half, catching the all-important 8-7 break into halftime. With renewed focus on handler defense, Surly regained the lead at 15-14 and secured the win 17-16. Santa Barbara's Beyondors arrived in Sarasota with most of the pre-tourney hype. Seeded fourth, the Beyonders roster is filled with recognizable names, including Brandon Steets and Jamie Hollywood Husak, who won an Open championship with Jam just 1 year ago. Throw in players with multiple rings in college and Open, like handlers James Studeris, Steve Dugan, and JD LeBeau, and it's easy to see why the Beyonders are the team to beat. Second-seeded Mileage, in red, from Dallas, Texas, is the quintessential Huck and Hope team. And with 6'5" receivers like Tom Etchison and Donovan Thomas, the hope isn't really necessary. The Beyonders extended their advantage in the second half with offensive spacing, athleticism, and coordination that looked more like an Open team than a traditional Masters one. Taking the game 15-10 against last year's runners-up, it's easy to see why the hype is around the Beyonders. Friday, 9:30 a.m. in sunny Sarasota saw the fourth round of Masters pool play. In a game with significant implications for elimination play matchups, 3-0 Surly, in white, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, squared off against 2-1 Glum out of Ottawa in black. The men from Canada jumped out to an early 3-1 lead behind strong play from handler and big thrower Dave Jansen. But as in the game against Troubled Past on Thursday, Surly put increased focus on handler defense, keying on the Jansen matchup, and throwing their full stable of fresh, versatile defenders out to stall the Glum offense. Surly effectively converted possessions on both offense and defense to take the half 8-6. Surly continued the pressure in the second half behind the strong play of Eric Turtle Lonsdorf, the unassuming lane cutter Jeremy Alden, and the gentle giant John Chandler. The top-seeded Surly closed out the game 15-10 to lock up the first seed out of Pool A and the presumably easy road to the finals. Over on Field 13, Philadelphia's Old Sag met Dallas's Mileage in a game that would likely determine the third and fourth seeds out of Pool B. Mileage, in white, came into the game after a disappointing Thursday. Despite being the top seed in the pool, Mileage had gone 1-2 on day one and were hoping to stop the bleeding by winning against Old Sag in purple. But the Philadelphia squad had other ideas. After trading points to 4-4, Old Sag threw a zone to minimize Mileage's athletic advantage and earned 2 breaks. While Mileage was able to dismantle the zone on the next possession, the damage had been done, and Old Sag took half 8-5. In the second half, Mileage continued to fight, but were unable to fully close the 3-point Old Sag lead. Sag's Daryl the Gata Norcott had a standout game, including this crafty catch, followed by the goal, as Old Sag closed out the game 15-13 on the way to a top 3 seed out of Pool B. The fifth and final round of pool play in the Masters division featured the Bay Area's Troubled Past against Boston's Dog in a game that had significant potential to shake up the Pool A seeding going into the quarterfinals. Both teams came out firing, with Dog and Red taking the open deep shots early as the teams traded to 4-4. Dog would get the first break of the game to take a 5-4 lead as the emotions began to run high. But Troubled Past would answer back to regain the serve at half 8-7. In the second half, Dog's legs once again seemed to grow tired as Troubled Past opened up a 12-8 lead behind the stellar play of Keith Monahan. Recognizing the need to be well rested for the quarterfinals, both teams opened up their roster on the way to a 15-12 Troubled Past victory. Other Round 5 action saw Colorado's Double Black pitted against regional rivals Santa Barbara's Beyonders. Double Black, in white, started hot with Jason Wedekin connecting with Brian Hickey for the 4-2 lead. But the Beyonders aren't a team that likes to lose and responded with impact play from star players Brandon Steets, JD LeBeau, and this block from James Studeris. Colorado would answer back with a huge goal line block by Van Lee. And only a few passes later, Will Brownlee climbing the ladder for a big goal in this tight game. Double Black would lead the game as late as 10-9, but the Beyonders would not be snowed under. Santa Barbara's competitive fire melted Double Black's chances as the Beyonders won the game 15-13 to maintain their undefeated record and favorite status going into elimination play.